Jörg Buttgereit. So we'll be doing the Q&A session before the film, so you can ask questions now. Andreas, were in charge of the posters, the very iconic posters for the film. And Jörg, this was your first feature film ever directed.
And the last time I've been here with that movie, the movie was still banned, and it was at the Love and Anarchy Festival, I think in 93. And to finally screen the movie, we had to go on a ferry, went to Estonia, to Tallinn, screened the movie there. There were also like a demonstration of people from Tallinn that they didn't want to have this kind of movie in their country. And then, about 300 people watched the movie, and then we came back to Helsinki. And that's why I remember Helsinki. Very strange projection experience. And last time I think it was a dirty 16mm print, and it was Nekromantik 1 and 2, I think.
Yes.
And this time you will see a 35mm blow-up, the only existing print. I paid this from my own money for the 10th anniversary of the movie, because for some reason this made on Super 8 home movie got so famous that a lot of big festivals wanted to screen it. So I had to make this blow up, which cost me half the price of the budget of the movie. It was really strange, because this movie was shot on Super 8 and this movie was shot on Super 8, and you're going to see like a 35mm print of it. You know, Super 8 is like this, and 35 is like this. That's a big advantage.
You said you directed the film in the first place just to be shown in punk rock clubs in the late 80s. Does it feel strange to be standing here almost 30 years later, watching the film with the audience, and it's just also came out on new Blu-ray and DVD edition? Must be something more than you expected.
Thank God I don't have to stay and watch it again, but I mean, I'm kind of used to it by now, because the strange thing is that this all happened, you know, this kind of infamous rumors about this movie that happened long before the internet was there. I think the movie was getting popular because so many people bootlegged this film. The film has been called the most bootlegged film ever, and I'm not sure if I'm really proud on that, because that means that a lot of people made a lot of money with it, but not me. And so a Blu-ray release now in the US that's like in the bestseller list of Amazon feels unreal, of course, because as you were just saying, this was the first feature film I did, and it was a movie I did in West Berlin. You know, the wall was still there, and the cinema, the premiere was a normal cinema, but it was a cinema that was taken over by a punk collective of cinema enthusiasts, and we just did this kind of screening, and 500 people showed up, and it was a 300 seat cinema, and we were all amazed that so many people showed up. And we had 2 film prints, and the movie played for 2 weeks. And that was it, I thought. But then, it went on and on. We jumped from city to city, now from country to country. And I could do this probably for the rest of my life, but I'm kind of happy that the film gets a kind of an official release now on Blu-ray. This has been out in Great Britain. It has an 18 certification for the first time without any cuts. It has been released unrated in the US on Blu-ray. So I think right now, over the last months, it was really the first time release. So it took me 30 years or 27 years to get it to the people. And I'm amazed that so many people show up here in the middle of the night to watch it on a Thursday evening. I don't know what a film I did so many years ago in the 80s as a protest against the German censorship movement could tell you today. I don't know. I have no clue.
Necrophilia is one of the biggest taboos in any society. Was that the reason you wanted to make a serious film about such stuff?
Did I do a serious film about it? But I definitely wasn't. Maybe I should stay and watch it. I wasn't
not totally serious, but it's
yeah. I mean, I have to watch it once in a while when we did the high definition transfer and all this stuff. I have to watch it again and again. But of course, if you've done something, and this took me about 2 years to finish this film, you know every frame, and you don't have a clue if it works or not. I had no actors, it were just friends. Well, I had a poster artist who was a professional. His payment was not professional, but for some reason he did it anyway. Right. And the fact that we didn't have actors and I couldn't really write dialogues, made me, put lots of music on it. Because all my friends were musicians, punk rock musicians, and so it kind of, to me, it's a movie that's kind of really doesn't work as a film because it's put together from all the weekends we shot some stuff, and my cameraman was not tired to tell me every day after shooting, you can't edit this together. It's a mess, and editing took us very long.
Andreas, can you tell a little bit of the process of decorating the posters?
Yes,
the iconic ones.
Yeah, the funny thing about these posters is that they are posters for a very rough punk movie, but in a style of it was the style of these days. In the 80s, you had all the covers of Casaro and Scotty. You all know these posters from the Fulci films and from James Bond, and so you had always these glamorous painted posters for big films, for big Hollywood films. And what we did, we just did for an underground film, we did a really glamorous big poster. And this was something that really worked for people. They came to this cinema, which was the Sputnik cinema, somewhere in the wedding of Berlin, which was a very
far district outside of town.
Yeah, it was very tough and dark atmosphere and punky and stuff, and then you see this glamorous poster and you think, what's this? And so
and a lot of feminists, seeing this poster, they just torn it down.
Yes, absolutely.
Putting words on like chauvinistic crap, and so it was really, really strange. And my idea was, I think that's what I told you, to have a poster like Gone with the Wind, with Clark Gable, but only with a corpse. And then, when I saw the finished artwork, I said, well, this is not fitting to my movie, because I had seen my movie, he hadn't. But it was so amazing that I couldn't resist using it, of course, And we paid like $150 for it. So it was really, and to me nowadays it's really amazing that the British release of Nekromantik, they've done new artwork for the box because they were too afraid to use this poster for the British release. And now they have a poster they have a cover artwork and a booklet artwork that's much closer to the movie. But still people are complaining that it's not the original artwork. So if you're here because you saw the poster, you're going to be really disappointed. But I think a lot of people have seen it anyway. Or are there people that are not familiar with the movie?
Okay.
Not bad.
Please.
Sorry, I'm not familiar.
No, they were just, I think.
Okay. Please
Are
raise
there
your
any
hands
questions?
with questions if you have.
They haven't seen the movie yet. But anyway, you can ask questions tomorrow when we screen Nekromantik 2, the film that nearly got me in jail in Germany. And yeah, I wish you a happy ending.
Just one detail question before you leave. I was just watching the making of Nekromantik the other day, and there was an anecdote about the cow's eye, who's, I don't know where you got it from, maybe you can explain. But
Pig's eye.
Pig's eye, not cow's eye. That was 3 weeks old, and that was used to do the close-up scene where that guy has to swallow it and back and forth again. Was all the effects done in the same way?
Yeah, if you don't have any money to do special effects, you use the real thing. That's the cheapest way. What I did was I went to a slaughterhouse in Germany, and I told them that I am in medical school or something, and we are doing this lecture on ice, and we gonna, stuff like this. And they told me, yeah, you can go down there, and there's this guy, ask him, he's a veterinarian, and there was, this big guy, like in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He said, you're the guy, and he just, do you have a bag? No. And then, so he gave me a bag. He had this big bowl of ice. And he just took, one hand, you want some more? And then he gave them to me, and I was sitting, in the tube afterwards, getting home, and these ice were kind of still warm and moving. And because we didn't have any chemicals to preserve these items, these real special effects, we just took them, put them in glasses with water. You will see that, we were so proud of it, so you have like 10-minute long shots of these eyes because it looks surreal, and lots of music around it because there was no sound. The camera was so loud, and the director of photography, the cameraman, he was willing that we could do all the scenes with a bed in his living room because he was having a crush on the main actress, so he thought, okay, if she's in my living room, I have her naked here, maybe so. And so to develop or to shoot with Super 8 30 years ago, you really had to put lots of light in this room because otherwise it would have been too dark. And these eyes being there for a few months only in water was an experience as well, because at a certain point, when we shot the scene with the laugh scene with the corpse, the main actor, Buttgereit, he was like caressing this tacky skull puppet, and he just sucked this eye in and put it out again. And everybody said, "Wow, that's a very brave thing, this old eye," and he was, "What's this?" And then the camera guy said, "Yeah, well, it was out of focus." And he ended up like doing it 5 times.
Was it hard to convince him to do it in the first place?
Well, I didn't ask for it, he just did it.
Okay.
That's
how you improvise.
Yeah. That's how it went.
And he really hates the movie now.
Yeah, not because of that scene, but he started to hate the movie when we were still shooting. But he was a good friend of mine, so he didn't let me down, because he also composed lots of the music. And he composed the music for Der Todesking, the film I did afterwards as well. But he really hated the ending, because for him, if I remember correctly, he said that, it's a story of a loser, and why isn't he running around with a machine gun killing everybody in the ending? But that would have been too expensive. And a different movie.
Very different.
There's a movie like this called Commando with Arnold Schwarzenegger, which is a very, very, very poetic movie. I really like it. It's about the same time this movie came out. And afterwards, actually, because Dr. went to Japan, he brought me an Arnold Schwarzenegger action figure from Japan from Commando.
Okay.
And I still have it in my home.
I envy you for that.
Yeah. So that's the whole story of Nekromantik and how Arnold Schwarzenegger became not a star in it.
Last chance to ask something today.
What did you use for the corpses? in the movie?
That's the only thing we didn't do for the real thing. And it's only one corpse. I actually bought a second-hand skeleton from a medical student for 350 mark, probably $170. It was so cheap because it had 2 left feet. And that's why you never see both feet. And when the skeleton, you know, I'm ruining this movie for you right now. Because when the skeleton hangs on the wall, he hangs like this. You know, because one foot is wrong. And the skin and all this stuff. I've also done the special effects on my own with Buttgereit, the main actor, who later on hated the movie so much. And I collected from my mother old stockings and stuff. We put that on the skeleton, and we used real pig's stuff for the belly and so. And yeah, that was the first thing we did. I think it took us like 3 weeks to complete the whole skeleton thing. Then we did some. We shot some footage with Super 8 with it, because back in those days you shot something and you didn't know what you did, because there was no way of checking, you know, not like a digital camera. So we waited 2 weeks until the development. It came back. Oh, it's too dark. So we should put some more light on it, and then that's why this movie took 2 years. And all the optical effects in that movie, you know, all these optical effects and slow motion, those are made by hand on a self-made optical printer. So it's really handiwork. That's why it looks so crappy in a way. But it helps the movie because it looks like a home movie. It is a home movie. And the first reviews I got from the US, based on really bad bootleg copies, you know, were saying, well, I'm not sure, but I'm kind of convinced that this movie were done with real corpses. So that's the beauty of bad bootleg copies. Okay, see you tomorrow morning. Not tomorrow morning. What time is it? You will find out in the program.
5:30. Eli Nekromantik 2 yhteydessä jatkuu silloin, puhutaan sekä ennen että jälkeen elokuvan. Ehkä silloin tulee vähän kysymyksiä. Eli lippuja vielä pikkasen jäljellä, mutta en tiedä kuinka kauan. Kannattaa käydä hakemassa, kun vielä saa.
The Return of the Loving Dead. Tomorrow.
Andreas, thank you very much.